This is what taints the mentalities of speakers today that are too worried about being popular and not worried even an ounce about telling Am Yisrael what they need to hear in order to do tshuva. If you look at the prophets, from the time of Moshe Rabbeinu, and even before him, all the way until the last prophet, the message has never changed. Shuvu Yisrael, come back, Am Yisrael, do tshuva. Do tshuva. Before it's too late, before the punishment comes, Hashem Yerachem, before bad things happen. Which means that if you are going to say anything different than any of the prophets, you're going to have to pay a din for it. Because what you're saying is against the Torah. What you're saying is against Hashem. Now I always ask myself, if you're already going to be a speaker, and you're going to teach Torah, it's not like there's that much money in it or anything like that. I mean, I guess maybe some people that are very popular, maybe they charge for their lectures. I guess you can make a good living out of it. But there's plenty of other things to make a better living at. I'm assuming that's, I don't know how much these people make. I just know that if you're already going to be a speaker, why pervert the Torah? Why change? Why put your own opinion? Who cares about your opinion, Bichlal? Who died and made your opinion valuable? Where in the Torah is there a pasuk that says your opinion counts? Where? Where does it say? When did Moshe Rabbeinu in Mount Sinai tell Am Yisrael have 613 mitzvot? By the way, one of them is your opinion counts. When? When did this happen? Where? I wasn't there. I read the Chumash several times. I promise you guys. I read it. I promise you guys I read the Gemara. I promise you I read a lot of Sfarim, Baruch Hashem. Not anywhere near what I need to do, but I read a lot. I asked a lot of questions. No one can come up with the answer. No one has ever seen a verse in the Torah that says your opinion counts. No one. In fact, the opposite. But when you have politics and money and terrible Yetzer Hara influences, it taints your brain. And today we've gone to the point where it's tainted the brains of speakers and audience alike to such an extent that we don't know what's kasher, we don't know what's tameh. We spoke a little bit about this on Sunday, and it just seems the times keep getting worse by the day. Only a couple of days have passed since we saw each other. Already something else came up. So now I'm going to ask you guys a question. You tell me what you think of this letter, if you would respond. If I wrote you a letter, or anybody wrote you a letter, if Machshimo Hitler wrote you this letter, would you respond to it? You tell me. I'm going to ask you this question. Shalom Aleichem Kvod Harav blank. Let's leave the name blank for now. One of my teenage students sent me a horrible message earlier today after he saw your shiur named Don't Be Afraid of Hell. That's the best part of it. That's the name of the shiur. So this student, what is he telling me? He's telling me that he is reconsidering remaining frum after listening to you make Gehenom and Kafakela sound like decent places and events one should not be afraid of, as your title implies, and maybe even worth consider visiting intentionally. I'm afraid this same personal translation of Gehenom and Kafakela was made numerous times on the Chabad.org website by a few other rabbis, and my plea with them remained unheard. You can check these articles, just type hell or Gehenom on Chabad, you'll see 3 different articles, each one of them makes it sound like Gan Eden. And by the way, I'm not allowed to comment there anymore, they remove all my comments. Continue. I took the time to watch your entire shiur, and I'm afraid to say that I understand why this innocent boy got that impression. I watched the shiur, And I'm not surprised that he thinks that Kaf HaKela and Gehinom are actually wonderful places that we should go visit, actually. With all due respect, the entire shiur is sourceless and opinion-based, misrepresenting what is mentioned in the Tanakh, Mishnah, Gemara, Zohar, Midrashim, Sifrei Chachamim, etc. Pretty much every single book that was ever written by the Chachamim in the history of mankind about the topic never said anything he said in it. 30-minute shiur, not a single word is ever mentioned by anyone before him. Now this is also including the Rambam. Rambam was smarter than him, right? 900 years ago, smarter. The Ramban also, right? The Zohar Kadosh, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Natan in Breslev that took the Rabbi Nachman in Breslev stuff. They were smarter than him, right? They didn't write any of this stuff. The Gemara, the people were able to revive the dead. They knew also to Allah, right? They didn't write the stuff. Nothing. It's okay. So far, you guys are following me? I understand that it is not a topic that is easy to speak about. But if you have already chosen to speak about it, and thereafter post it publicly for the world at large, then why pervert the truth of our holy Torah? Why change the Rambam's 13 principles of faith? Why make punishment seem inconsequential and uneventful when our sages have told us that we can lose our olam haba for such behavior? Why skip the clear instructions written throughout nearly half of the Torah, such as Parashat Bechukotai, this week's parasha, Parashat Ki Tavo, Azinu, and others? I agree that the intricate details of Gehinom are not for everyone, but misleading the public to think that everyone is okay, regardless of what they do, is irresponsible to say the least. This was not what the Baal Tanya taught. See page 38 in the book of Tanya. Nor any of the sages in our history. Please reconsider or consider relearning this difficult topic and giving a new correction, clarification shiur, or even removing it altogether, while focusing on the rest of your shita to do kiruv. I understand that this is all coming from a good place in your heart, but for this reason the Mishnah in Pirkei Avot, chapter 1, verse 11, Mishnah 11 says, Avtalyon omer, Chachamim izaru b'divrechem. This Mishnah we learned almost a year ago, Rabotai, and I'll just read it so you see exactly what it says. I'll read it in English for you. Avtalyon says, scholars, Chachamim, be cautious with your words, for you may incur the penalty of exile and be banished to a place of evil waters, heresy. The disciples who follow you there may drink and die, and consequently the name of heaven will be desecrated. Meaning, Chachamim, be careful with the words that you're saying. You're teaching, you want to be a rabbi, you want to be a speaker, you want to teach Torah, no problem. Just be careful with the words that are coming out of your mouth before they come out of your mouth, not after. Why? Because people that are listening to you, they're going to say, look at this guy, he knows more than me. He read 1 book, 2 books, 1,000 books, whatever he read. He knows more than me. He's a rabbi, I have to listen to him. And that guy said that it's allowed to go smoke marijuana. That guy said it's allowed to go drive on Shabbat. That guy said it's allowed to go out with a non-Jewish woman. That guy said allowed to. So I'm going to listen to him. Even if he said it as a joke, and if it wasn't clear that it was a joke, because some people have like sarcastic humor, a person believes, oh, he really meant it. And he takes that, it's on him, the deen's on him. That's why the Mishnah specifically says, Chachamim, izaru b'divrechem, you have to be very careful with the words that are coming out of your mouth. And I finalize by saying, I appreciate you reading this and wish you extraordinary success in your kiruv efforts to help bring all of Am Yisrael back to the truth of Torah and Hashem Yitbarach. May Hashem continue to bless you. P.S. I did a shiur about the topic and understand the difficulty learning it, let alone teaching it. Now, is this a letter that you would be offended by? If you got the letter, if Hitler sent it to you, a.k.a. Yaron Reuven, let's say, he sent it to you, would you be offended by it? Please tell me. I'm trying to get like positive. I'm trying to get like real feedback. I need help here, guys. Somebody online. Okay, you guys are not. You guys are not. Somebody over here. What's wrong with medical cannabis? It has nothing to do with the topic. Ribono shel olam, Pesach. Please focus on the subject. If you got this letter from me, from a aton, from a donkey, sent you something, okay? He sent you this letter. If you heard what I said, are you offended by it? Would you respond to it? Does it seem important enough to respond to if your job is a kiruv person, and a person is now doing, not kiruv, richuk. He's now leaving. Your job is to get people to do tshuva. Now your speech caused somebody to not do tshuva, do she'elah. You should care about this, right? There's a little boy, 15, 16 years old. He's saying, you know what, I'm going to leave. I'm the heck with it. If I don't have to do it, why should I do it? If you care so much about Hashem, about Torah, about mitzvot, about Am Yisrael, you should care enough to respond, right? Meaning that even if you're as busy as, let's say, me, let's say, and you don't really sleep much, and you don't really have time for your family or even to go to the bathroom sometimes, but let's say you're even busier than me. If it takes you a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days to answer, okay, fine. But after a week, you got to it, no? So that's why, Rabotai, this is very upsetting. It's been over a week. And not only have I sent it once, I sent it 3 times. And I sent reminders. And I'm just not getting a response. And a little boy is in danger because of the stupidity that comes out of people's mouth. And they start translating the Torah according to their liking. And this is a very dangerous type of teaching.